All right. So our next one, let's talk about going on with the legislation.
Yeah,
Minnesota, Chicago
there's fresh
is
news.
join the ranks, but yeah, let's
You
kind of
bet.
do our update with Minnesota, and then we'll talk about Chicago real quick.
Yeah. Actually, on this one, there's fresh news. Our Joe that was on last week. No, the
Mhm.
week before. He said Uber started, Lyft started. Lyft and Uber are both saying they're going to leave Minneapolis if the city ordinance passes by January 1st. I sent it to you right before the show, remember? Bullshit. Well, one time. We have to call the bluff of these people one time, just one single time, okay? Plus, why wait until January 1? Just leave now. It's like,
Yeah, right.
so Minneapolis city ordinance. This is a city ordinance now. This is Minneapolis, okay? This is just like the Seattle, playbook that we talked about last week. It
Mhm.
starts in a city, spreads out to the state. Starts in a city, spreads out to the state. So we know Governor Walz. I'm not going to talk smack about Walz because one day I may meet this guy. Okay, I'm not going to talk about crap about any executive. Well, exceptions, of course, rule, but or politicians for sure. I'm just not going to do it. Anyway, so Governor Walz vetoed the bill that was passed by the House and the Senate in Minnesota, state bill. That didn't work out. Now he's in a committee, put the Uber, Lyft drivers all in one room and trying to come up with a model. So maybe that's why they're going to wait until January 1, saying give governor's committee some time to, figure this thing out. But this bill, we talked with Joe, this is a city ordinance bill, city of Minneapolis only, not for all of Minnesota. $1.40 a mile, 51 cents a minute, unjust deactivation rights, and a couple other things are in here. This is just like the Seattle bill. And Uber and Lyft today said, well, we're going to leave.
Okay.
I'm like,
Hi,
sayonara, sayonara. And
Joe, and anybody else who wants to write an email to the city here, to the elected officials there who are going to be looking at this and voting on it, probably should let them know exactly what's going on. That they're talking a big bullshit game there, and they're not really going to be leaving. We all know this. We've seen this many a time before when it came to different things. They said that they were going to leave California, the entire state of California, if drivers were going to become employees. No, we heard the same thing in Seattle. We heard the same thing in Chicago. We heard the same thing in other areas as well too. So you know what? It's time the city calls their bluff, because that's all it is. It's a bad poker hand that Uber and Lyft are trying to play. It's effective in trying to scare, but when you ask to show them the cards by calling them out, they're gonna have nothing. So
yeah,
a 2 and a
well,
6 isn't gonna be jack. So
yeah. So, Uber and Lyft said that this is an ordinance that is coming around. They're going to vote on this on August 17th, which is 2 days from now, Chris.
yep.
Joe could be getting 140 and 51. Our good old Joe. You're going to swim in cash for at least 3 months, Joe, until they leave.
Yeah, they're not gonna leave. That again, that's
I don't
just
know. I don't
scare
know.
tactics.
Look, again, with balance, okay? We're not, everything should have a balance. There are people who use Uber and Lyft for a lot of services who are in need. If their prices quadruple, and well, Uber says they're going to double. Literally in this article, I read everything, so I break it down for you guys because we want to go faster today. Is this Uber and Lyft both are saying, which there's a point to it. Rides are going to be more expensive in Minneapolis than they are in New York City with all the regulations that they have. They go, people cannot afford that. Ridership is going to go down. There's price elasticity. There are people who use it for medical transport. There are people who use these services, ADA, American Disabilities, all these things, all these people. They go, why are we hurting all these people? And the drivers are saying, which is right here, I'm going to read one sentence. We're going to go to the next one. It goes, I took a gentleman from downtown Minneapolis to the airport a couple of days ago for $60. And then driver made 18 out of the 60. So when you see these things, right? And Uber and Lyft says we're going to leave. Well, I don't think you should leave Uber and Lyft because look at the take rate on that thing. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
you have to pay a little bit more. This is the time to open the purse strings a little bit. Maybe not charge the passenger 100% more. You have to eat a little bit of the take rate. Plus, Mr. Koshoshay, I know you're watching this. Every time I say it, I'm laughing. I don't even know why I'm laughing, Chris. I okay. Listen, Mr. Koshoshay, you said it on this acquired podcast, which I watched twice, word for word. Okay, you said we want to take our take rate down anyway. Now, if anybody believes that, which let's say I did, I'm not saying I did, but let's say I did. You want to take the take rate down from 29% to 20%? Great. Don't jack the prices up that much. Pay the drivers a little bit more. That's how you lower your take rate, sir. There you go.
Mhm.
We accomplish all goals. So, thumbs up, City of Minneapolis. Give a hand to everybody in Minneapolis who are fighting tooth and nail. And we're in support. We're support. I don't know about we, but I'm supporting this cause right here. I think
Yeah,
this should
no,
be.
that's a we. That's an absolute we, because like I say, I'm a big fan of the Seattle and Washington model, and this is becoming another part of that. So it's the extension. They're taking the same kind of thing and bringing it to the city here. So yeah, I think this is a good thing. I said earlier, this is the dominoes falling.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to start seeing the Wild West start being kind of come back to what it should be. Uh,
Okay, this is
no
my
longer will.
this is my new troll. He replaced the defenestrator. Joe Driver is my new troll. What do you say to this, Chris? What do you think? What should you say to this?
I
What do
would
you
say,
think?
Joe, you might want to rethink that. Just
Uh,
saying, you might want to
just saying,
rethink
buddy.
that.
It's all good. Anyway,
But with that being said, not only is Minneapolis, the city of Minneapolis, going to be having their vote very soon in a couple of days, but what was just announced in Chicago?
I got an email right before I got on the show. It's Chris. This is happening, bro. This is like so beautiful. It's like a little dominoes, right?
Hmm.
City of Chicago is passing an ordinance exactly like Minnesota's, except it's cheaper. $1.20 a mile, 41 cents a minute. This is for the city of Chicago, not Illinois. City. It's starting in cities. And I'm gonna have those people. I'm gonna talk to those people this week. It's out there. So city by city by city, right? The fires are starting, and let's see where we're gonna go. And the one in Chicago is $1.20 and 41. Unjust deactivation rights automatically, right? On top of that, minimum fare is $7 a trip instead of the 262. So it's just honestly, it looks exactly like the Minneapolis package. It almost like I'm not going to say carbon copy because the rates are different, obviously, but it's
Hmm.
happening, bro. It's happening. We need to push. We need to push. you know, yeah.
Well,
So.
I like this one. Does the Chicago law include free bulletproof vests for drivers?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Chicago is not the best, the safest place at the moment.
Too
But
long.
Megan, thank you, Megan. How did your accident go, Megan? Shoot me an email. She wasn't an accident. The day she
Oh,
installed her display ride, she wasn't an accident.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully everything's okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Gambit, I can't. We have Prop 22, so I don't know what to do about that one. But anyway, so yeah, it's starting, bro. I'm telling you. um we're trying to create a coalition with all the content creators out there that there's power in numbers. Everybody is like leaders of their cities and states. Get drivers together, grassroots campaign. We had the people from Seattle and Washington State last week, Teamsters, Washington Drivers Union, as well as our Walt. Look, man, this is a grassroots campaign. Go to the airport, talk to other drivers. If you're Hispanic, go to the airport, talk to your drivers. Let them know that we exist, that we're trying to fight for you guys. And this is doable, man. It really is. All it needs, Chris, all it needs is one of these cities to fall. Like
Mhm.
on the 8th, on the 17th, if
Oh, no.
city of
I think it's one of the cities to call the bluff, and then you
well,
start seeing more cities.
yeah,
Like I said, it's the beginning of
yeah.
the fall of dominoes. So.
One by one by one by one, bro. There we go.
Mhm.
So we have more news about this stuff, by the way. What we're doing, we'll break that down. In fact, we may even have some guests about this, but there you go.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.